day late and $1 short.
Yeah. You said, don't take mine.
Don't take Rube's. I'll forget mine, so.
All right. Good morning. Morning.
Doug, who are some guys who came back from the break that were physically impressive or kind of showed you that they really have put in the work the last 3 months?
So let me to clarify. You talking about our current players, not we're separate from rookie camp,
Right.
Correct. Yeah, there were a number of guys that came back. I mean, just eager and ready. I mean, it was a short off season, as you guys know, and short for all the players and coaches. But obviously, I'll take that, any day. You look at. I mean, Jay Ajayi came back in great shape, great health. Obviously Nick finished the season strong, came back ready to go. Even guys like Malcolm on defense. I mean. And Fletcher, who's been here, have come back, and it's my job to protect them a little bit through this off season. Obviously, we're not playing a game right now, so it's my job to make sure that these guys are getting the work they need, but at the same time, getting them more prepared for training camp.
Do you update us on any of the veterans that might be missing, like Michael Bennett, or any of the guys that might be missing for injury?
Look, I mean, this is a voluntary program. I mean, we know it. And, I've been in touch with these guys and just staying on top of them and wishing they were here. But look, it's a voluntary program. These guys are veteran players. They know how to get themselves prepared. Again, it goes back to, my comment a few seconds ago about, we're not playing games right now. But, Michael was here a couple weeks ago and got involved with our off season and not worried about, guys that have been, multiple Pro Bowl players that are going to come in and help us right away.
You signed some guys, Marcus Wheaton, Richard Rodgers, the running back you just signed, Matt Jones, who have had really good moments in their careers and maybe fallen on hard times. And what are your expectations of those kind of guys? And what do you look for from them, for guys who are kind of trying to revive their careers?
Well, it goes back to, our philosophy here is we're gonna continue to bring in guys, create depth, number one, create competition, number two, and just see where they're at. These guys are, guys that can help us, and it's just gonna be. It goes back to me kind of protecting maybe some of the starters just a little bit. Some of the guys, as we know, Alshon, in his situation currently, and so having depth at that position helps us down the road. Guys like Marcus and Richard are veteran players that just give us more depth, give us competition, makes us better. And I'm excited to start OTAs in another week. And see what they can do for us.
When do you expect to have Tim Jernigan back?
There's no timetable on him. Biggest thing is getting him healthy and getting him back when we can.
What's the plan if he's not ready for the opener?
I'm not there yet. Not there yet. I mean, we're not putting the roster together yet, so I couldn't tell you.
How did he suffer his injury? What happened?
I'm not going to get into specifics on him. I'm going to do that, and that's going to be my answer with all our injured players right now.
Doug, we've seen footage of Carson throwing on the field. Where does he stand, and how do you feel about his rehab at the moment?
Listen, I'm very highly encouraged where he's at right now. He's making progress each day, and we just continue that process, and he continues to throw and get stronger. And it's a fine line too with just this time of year. Maybe try to do too much, too soon, but our guys are on top of it. He's on top of it. He's managing it, extremely well, and again, encouraged where he's at.
What's the plan for him this spring, Doug? For Carson, what's the plan?
Well, he's not cleared. He's not cleared to do anything. So, basically, just continue his rehab.
He said he was confident. That was the word that he used. That he would be ready for the opener. What is your reaction to that? For him saying he's confident, he's ready for the opener.
I love the enthusiasm. I want that from all our players, obviously. But again, I'm not. It kind of go back to Sidney Jones. I'm not going to rush him out there. I don't want to expose him. He'll be ready when he's ready and when we feel he's ready. So right now we're encouraged, the progress he's making. Love his enthusiasm. All the guys, Jason Peters, confident. Darren Sproles, they're all confident. And I love that. But, again, in each individual case, you know, I'm not gonna further risk, you know, any other injury.
When you hear him talk and you see what he's doing, how much do you get the sense that he wants his team back?
Oh, I would. He does. He does, and that's a tribute to who Carson is, you know, and really all the injured guys. I mean, you watch Chris Maragos and you watch Sproles and you watch Darren or Jason Peters. You watch these guys work, and I'm hoping the rest of the team sees that and feeds off of that, because you know what? For me as a coach, to have those guys not there at the end of the season, that's motivation. That's motivation for the rest of us to get off our tails and kind of pick our games up to where they are. And that's what I'm encouraged by. And that can rub off with the rest of the team.
Is it
We would
different for
agree
the
that it's a
quarterback?
different situation for Carson because Nick is there. He's a Super Bowl MVP. He performed extraordinarily well. And he's also the quarterback. So it's a different situation for the quarterback, right?
Right.
Doug, are you planning on?
No, it is. It is a different situation. But, I mean, Big V played extremely well in Jason Peters' absence. So I got to look. I mean, yeah, you look at the quarterback position, but I got to look at the left tackle position, and I got to, you know, the running back position. They're all they're different, but in reality, they're all kind of the same. And I got to make sure that everybody's ready at those positions before we put them out there.
Doug, do you have any joint practices planned?
Right now, I don't. Just the way our schedule is. Right now, I don't.
What about like possibly following up that Dallas trip with another trip to LA and not coming?
Yeah,
back?
you know, I haven't really thought too much about that. Just the way everything's fallen right now, the times of the games and different things. And we've had success going out to the West Coast, you know, the day before. You think of the Chargers game, stuff like that. I mean, so we're processing all that right now. We'll have more answers probably later in the summer.
Doug, where do you see the Joe Callahan signing? Like, where do you see him fitting in? Like, what kind of role do you see him having? Like,
Well, right now we're just learning the offense. Number one, it'll be, you know, with Carson's absence and not being able to do much in the spring, just giving him time, giving him reps, getting him caught up, you know, and you know, I'm encouraged by him too. He comes in here and very similar offense that he's coming from, just picking up the terminology and just giving us, you know, another arm as we go through OTAs and possibly training camp.
when you guys played against Green Bay last year, I mean, he had pretty much most of the second half. I mean, did you kind of notice anything particular about him then, or?
Yeah, I thought he played well against us there in the second half and did some nice things. And you know, you're always looking, you know, at every position, as you know. And he caught our attention this spring. And you know, as we go too, we you know, like to bring that fourth or fifth quarterback, you know, with us through whether it's OTAs or training camp. And you know, I'm excited to work with him a little bit this spring.
As far as the staff changes, how is that process going, elevating Mike and obviously Deuce and Jet getting more responsibility?
Yeah, it's going well, going extremely well. You know, the communication is great between Mike and I, great relationship there. You know, one of the things that Mike benefited from really taking this role over is being around Frank last year and being kind of, you know, tied in with Frank on how Frank thought and how he and I interacted, Frank and I interacted, and Mike's involvement with game plans and things like that. And you know, he's done a really good job filling in. He's leading the group offensively, the coaching staff, and he's on top of it. He's a sharp guy. So I'm encouraged there. Press Taylor has done a great job with our quarterbacks this spring. You know, he's one that's been kind of chomping, you know, waiting for that opportunity, and it came. So, you know, this is his opportunity now to really shine, and he does a great job. He's got a quarterback mind, so I'm excited, you know, for his future. You know, Gunnar Brewer, hired him as a receiver coach, and I tell you, he and Carson Walsh both they're in here early and they stay late. They're studying our offense, they're studying our players, they're getting to know our players inside and out, and that's encouraging. They're doing a great job on the field so far here in phase 2. And then really, you know, with Jeff Stoutland, you know, he does a ton with the run game, obviously, and you know, he's the one that you know, sort of puts everything together. He's got assistants there, but he kind of puts the plan together in the run game, And so wanted to just give him the credit where credit's due. He's a heck of a line coach, and I'm excited to have him. And then for Deuce, for Deuce to become the assistant head coach, I think it's our relationship that we had goes back to us as players, and what I've seen with him with that running back group, and how he leads, and anytime I put him in front of the team or the offense, he shines there, and that's his element. So all the guys have done a great job this spring, and looking forward to camp, and then of course into the season.
Doug, when did Jeffrey come to you about the contract extension, and how was the process?
Well, it kind of goes in line with players. I really don't get into that. That was a personal issue, so I'm just going to leave it at that.
What do you like about Josh Adams, and does he have an opportunity to potentially follow kind of what Corey did? Do you see that in him?
I do. This kid, tremendous athlete. He's big. He's powerful guy. Obviously, he's limited a little bit right now, injury-wise. But I'm excited for this kid. Great opportunity for him to be around the type of backs that we have, the leadership that's in that room with Deuce, and then we get him going in training camp. You never. For me, guys like that, tight ends, running backs, even receivers, offensively, defensive backs, safeties. When you put the pads on, you really get to know a little bit about, the will to hit, the physicality, the nature of training camp. And that's when you really get to see guys kind of shine. And I'm encouraged that, for him, when we get to that point in camp.
Sticking on that theme with running backs, you brought in Matt Jones too. What do you expect from him? And then what kind of offseason did Humphrey have? And did he get bigger, stronger, more comfortable?
With Matt, again, added depth, added competition. Obviously Sproles situation, right now, it just gives us depth there. Jay's a guy that, going forward, I want to make sure that he's 100% and he's ready for the regular season and all those types of things down the road. And so Matt gives us that depth, that competition, and I'm excited for him to get in that mix too. And I don't want to compare LeGarrette and Jay, but that type of dynamic, with his experience and what he brings to us. And then Humphrey's done a great job, of just kind of being patient, rehabbing, getting himself physically ready. He's done a nice job this spring so far, and he's one of the young kids that we look forward to in OTAs of giving him some opportunity to be successful.
Your eagerness to bring back Darren, the story how he told about you nagging him throughout the offseason. How much was that about getting him back on the field, and how much was it about sort of getting him back in the building?
It's both. That kid, I love that kid and everything he brings, his smile every day. He's a tremendous worker when you watch him at practice. His leadership, and Darren's not the most vocal guy, but he kind of leads more by example on the football field. And, he's a competitor, and that's what rubs off on, on me. It rubs off on the rest of the guys offensively. It rubs off on the team, just the way he goes about his business. And, to have that leadership in the locker room was important for me from Darren, to get him back and again adds value and adds the eagerness for that running back room to be another good year for them.
All right, that's good.
Okay,
Thank you, Doug.